So I've gone in here, guys. I left some information um, on a thread of Mr. Greg Willis, who is the district attorney of Collin County, Texas. And like I said, he was a pretty nice guy when I actually met him face to face in an unrelated incident. Weird how that works, but I have given them a considerable amount of information as it pertains to several different things, all of which are very closely connected without question. And so we'll jump back in here. I'll just get a kind of document this, guys. I don't want to narrate it too much, but I'll do a little bit, okay? You know, we had the issue of the Fusion Center releasing some documents while Alexia Davis and I were in Washington, and it was relevant to an investigation that I was working even prior to me being inserted into that detention facility. And so that was a big deal. Of course, when I talked to a member of Greg's staff, she laughed so hard when I told her that we had this raw signals availability procedures, and that it was declassified from, ODNI, originating agency, National Security Agency. She just laughed, and there's so much stuff in here about domestic spying and how it's appropriate, and one of those instances is attorney-client privilege, and there's no such thing when it comes to kind of the subject matter of this post that Greg has put up here. If there's a threat of bodily harm or death against someone, they can listen in, bottom line. And so we had that in my instance in several different instances, and it allowed us to open up into this investigation because, these guys thought that, we do too much. And it really started about a shooting that happened in Plano that hit the media on September 11th in a psychological operation that they had done. And so all of those pieces together, I did actually ask a sheriff's deputy in Collin County to forward information to the Texas Rangers and that I would be their point of contact on a particular investigation. And I did that. And I'm going to let you guys hear a little bit of that real quick.
I'm going to go ahead and do one more. Let you guys.
And this guy I wrecked this guy, totally wrecked him. He does admit to widespread corruption. I mean, the whole premise of the call is what's going on in your department, child sex crimes, et cetera, et cetera. And, they come in and they hate on this, these guys. Oh, let's go in there and get this down their little crew. Let's see if I can find that particular incident.
About that for everybody. And am I taking a great risk for this? Yeah, but I look at it like not really. I've done so many different, I couldn't even begin to tell you. And so I feel right at home in this, but sometimes, you get are asking them questions out to ask, what do you know? What's this? What is that? And it's not that I didn't give him a chance to do it. What it looked
this guy didn't.
And this is a serious operation. And so how did you become to be a police officer or sheriff?
Deputy.
I applied for the job.
I don't care about
you get into it, we wanted to help people, or that's why you got into it?
That's what he said.
It's kind of in the family business, one of those kind of grew up in it.
Ah, I see.
And that's just the MO of these guys, and it's multi-generational. This is the same group that we're talking about, okay? And he admits it there.
Okay? You need to go back and run and be the messenger and tell your little people, not little people, but you need to go tell your crew, if you're involved in this shit, that we're going to fucking roll you, okay? You need to get your shit together, because we're not here to fucking play games.
And this was before Dockery got busted and put in his dad's jail. This was before they got to Brian Gibbons in Louisville. And this was the subject matter of the call. And so we told them very clearly, and I actually had a warrant at this time out of the DA's office in Collin County for a crime that was contrived. It was bullshit. And we told them as much. And they were really targeting me badly with this technology, and so we took it up to Washington, Alexia and I. And when we came back, they continued to do it, and they did it to her while I was incarcerated, and so that was a bad deal.
With you guys, and that is the. You go right ahead and do it. You tell them that I am their point of contact and give them my number and have them give me a call.
There we go.
Will you do that? I'm going to ask you to do.
So if I don't observe,
I'm going to give you a tip. Listen to me.
I don't have an actionable offense. So therefore,
And this guy was telling me, you're making all these accusations. I didn't make a single accusation. I gave him open source information, and then he, just totally sidestepped the whole issue because he's working on behalf of this group. And this is obvious. We already know this for a fact.
for a criminal investigation would have to be launched through our criminal investigation division. Or, as in most cases with judges, those are usually investigated by the Texas Rangers to have a sense of impartiality.
Do you want to take this to the Rangers? You go right ahead and do it. You tell them that I am their point of contact and give them my number and have them give me a call. Will you do that?
And so that remains today. We're still dealing with the subject now that I haven't even reviewed what's going on with Skinner presently with this deal, but we know that these guys love to do these little psychological operations in the media, and it's BS. That's what Operation Medusa, of course, was all about. If you haven't been following that work, you can catch up with that in several different videos that we've done and radio interviews and so on and so forth. But, we had the release, and people used to think you were crazy for talking about this stuff, you guys. It was very fortunate that it was part of my testimony prior to, the release. It was relevant to the case and the circumstances in which I found myself in Collin County. And we know that Dockery and his faction, having been a former SWAT officer sniper, was in possession of this type of technology. And so I'm not sure that will not go there. Let's see. There we're at. There we go. And so, yeah, gets on into some things there about how this was written previously. If you go down and look at the timestamp here, July 31st, 2017, and then you come here and you see the document there. I was in Washington at the time of this release from the Counterterrorism Fusion Center over a year later. From an official law enforcement source, same document, same everything. And we gets down in here to some other things with the helicopters and what goes on. And, some of this does have operational purposes. I bet it freaks Greg Willis out that, hey, this is where I met you, by the way, and here's me steering a helicopter. You're, at the same location subsequent to meeting him there. And so how all of that works is something that may be on the scope of this video, but they ripped off my mom, firstly, Paul Key, and myself. I mean, I had a great little business going with Alexia Landscape and made it, we were doing quite well. And I had given Paul Key $7,500, and he just stopped. He chose not to represent me anymore because I was talking to him about the subject matter of the helicopters, of the electronic harassment, and so on and so forth. And that is a major issue that we will be able to use as we transition with this case and the circumstances and how it's all related. And so, how do you forgive these guys for using this stuff on you, your mom, the love of your life, and all of this other stuff? It's a very difficult situation. And so we have acquired, I personally acquired the testimony, really the statements of someone with the appraisal office in Collin County, a Collin County employee who had been transferred from Florida, which there's a link in there on a multi-agency, some other things that I had worked on. And she was introduced to me as someone's property in the context of a prostitute. This is, now we've got two different Collin County employees that have prostitute daughters totally strung out on drugs. What are the odds of that against the general public? I mean, it shows that there's an astronomically higher ratio of these people within this agency than there is in the general populace. That's cause for concern big time. And we know that it comes from this ritualistic abuse and the other things that they've been involved in. And we've been looking at this for a number of years. And, you know, I'm asking these guys, let's settle out of court. You know, $2 million is an easy deal for them after what we went through, irrespective of what else is going on with Sheriff Skinner with this other case and the wrongful death. And so I'm going to ask Mark, you know, my mom did retire from his firm. He's a great guy. He's been through a lot. Looks like he was probably targeted, got into a very serious accident. And there's a lot of interest out here, but, you know, they're powerful people. And the bottom line, guys, I shouldn't even need Mark to negotiate this case. The people in Plano and in Collin County should say, well, we've messed this one up, didn't we? They should want to settle out of court at this time. I mean, do you want to go toe-to-toe with us on this? Do you guys want to all conspire against me to cover this up? Because that's what it would have to be to even take a next step, because we've got all of this. We collected the signals intelligence that they were using on us, and it's unlawful, and it's torture. Okay, so that's a whole nother aspect of the testimony. And I just wanted to dive in here and catalog what we're doing here, because Alexia has been targeted, and this is not okay with me, okay? And the way that this lady totally mishandles, I mean, I just run circles around this investigator from Hood County, as it pertains to a child sex abuse investigation, and that's already public. And so I've been on the phone today with the marshals. Well, I guess that was yesterday now. It's after 12, but the marshals, the FBI, a couple other guys, you know, this is ODNI on the way down, and there's some other stuff going on that you guys really need to get into your head, that we're not putting up with this anymore. You guys are finished doing this stuff and running these little ops and the media and all that. What are you going to do? You know, you're going to sit there and be blackmailed? You know, you're going to do this, that, and the other? Fuck all that, man. You guys can go to jail. Okay? You guys have been involved in rape, murder, you know, wrongful prosecution, all of this other stuff, obstruction of justice. You have been completely watched. And so I'm not pointing fingers or saying anybody's names other than Jim Skinner. We know that he is definitely connected to this. Mr. Willis is somebody that I will definitely give the benefit of the doubt to. I think that he's a good guy. And I think that he has to do the right thing. And so I'm looking forward to being able to work with him on that, having, you know, met him previously on a special operation and illustrated that with clarity beyond belief for anybody who's cognizant enough to really look at seeing what's going on today. And so that issue is the bigger issue. And how do we reconcile this issue with the assimilation of these technologies into our body? Because this all started for me. Hello, wake up, behold. You know, this all started for me as an investigation into frequency-based biological control systems monitored by artificial intelligence and regulated by AI, and how this stuff is incorporated into the network. And so you try to go tell these guys that back then when they're under the influence, and it sounds completely nuts. You come back a few years later and like, look, everything I told you already happened. Here we are. Hi. Okay? I'm exactly who I've told you was the entire time. It's exactly who I am. And so it's important for us to be able to work together, respect each other, find a resolution, move forward. You know, it's not about condemnation. You know, you guys have your professional ways of doing things, and you have to be in that professional environment. Look, I have done everything I hear in the fucking book that you wouldn't even believe. And my cover is going to, you know, I think he gave me $45. You know, asking people like Greg for money at a fucking gas station just to generate a cover and make money because I'm not able to get paid. And so guess what? You guys are going to have to flip the bill on this one for myself, my family, what we've been through, to basically come in there and get up. And it's only fair. It's only fair. And so any righteous judge would say, well, this guy has put all of this on the line. He's really done this for us. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, you guys, but this is a, you know, largely a selfless act that I did in hopes, not for anything to do with any money, but you guys want to play law of the land with us. you owe us this money, bottom line. And so just the wrongful incarceration of the whole thing is a no-brainer. And so there's many different aspects of that. And so this will probably be like a B-side track. I like Greg. I think he's all right. And so there's a lot of stuff in that thread, and I'll go ahead and put it in the description of the video. But, you know, when you go listen to me talking to this DA investigator, she fucked it up bad. I mean, she just completely fucked it up. And so we're going to move into Hood County on this. They're going to have to arrest that suspect. They're going to need to go question the mom. They're going to have to get every single bit of that information out and make it into the public. And we're going to put this in the media. And if you guys don't like it, get out of the fucking way. Okay? That's not a threat of violence. It's just the people will not put up with this anymore. Okay? And so you shouldn't either. You should take one look at this and say, man, this is totally screwed up. And we, you know, where is bipartisanship? Where is working together? You know, this division is being caused by this system and this force behind it, you guys. And so this left-right bullshit and the little plan of these secret handshake fuckers, fuck all that, you guys. Pull your head out of your ass. Okay, is this what you really want? You believe in this crap? You need to have this dualistic thing to generate greed, and it's just... I'll tell you something. The second coming is the bloodlines of Jesus coming back on this earth, the families, the body of Jesus, the followers, and coming back and, you know, getting this stuff resolved. And so I don't want to elaborate too much on what it means to see the fire from Project Rainbow, so to speak, if you're following that work. It's not my fucking job. I would definitely prefer a peaceful resolution to this. You know, the sword of truth is what can open up a realm of potential that is more beneficial for all of us. And so let's think about that. And again, when somebody does a selfless act like Greg did when I met him, this is all how we work in the system today that seeks to manipulate us. And when he did that choice that he made, not knowing who I was, I didn't even know who he was. This is some type of divine timing. What is this? And so it's difficult to discern those things sometimes when you're looking at technology that can make you do damn near anything. On top of the release of the document, so and so for so many testimonies, what is the antithesis to that? Is using your heart, making a sound decision of good advice, obtaining wise counsels, and doing the right thing, the next right thing. And so forgiveness, compassion, how huge is that? It has to be done for all of us. And so, guys, the stuff with the kids is going to stop. I swear. Hands off, Alexia. Okay? Hands off. Okay? She has been influenced. She has been tortured. She has been traumatized and fragmented. Her mom did not report this. She played into it. That is so criminal. I do not give a shit if she's an asset for fucking, anyone, aliens. It doesn't matter. Okay, this is Earth. Okay, people will be held accountable for that. Okay, and so let's get it moving. Okay, her stepdad. Look at this guy fucking grabbing these fucking kids on Facebook. Okay, no. Okay, I want these people arrested. That's what you're gonna do. Okay, you're gonna go in there and you're gonna arrest these motherfuckers. You're gonna fucking dry them out in the media. Okay, it's a bottom line. Do it.